name is William Hayward, and this is Radio Free London, broadcasting from a bunker here behind the wall. Sort of. Anyway, couldn't afford to explain. But I wanted to make a little bit of a commentary about what's been going on in Europe. What's going on in Cologne, in Germany, what's been going on in London, in my London. And I've spent a lot of time over the past 10 years trying to open the minds of people who previously were close to the idea that multiculturalism might possibly be failing. Yeah, failing. Now, if you inject one culture into another one, so let's say for instance you've got the Japanese culture, like in Japan, and then you infuse, oh, I don't know, European culture into that Japanese culture that existed for thousands of years, you're going to have a bit of a conflict. I think, and I believe, hello, that is what is happening now. It's what's happening throughout Europe. And we're seeing this systematic consumption of Western society by that of non-European and non-Western societies because of immigration. Now, the argument that people like Angela Merkel make is valid to some degree, that, you know, we're not having enough children. I've done my bit, try to get the babies out there, yeah. By the way, Europeans have more babies. This might solve the problem. It might actually give you a future for your children. Otherwise, what we're doing, and for reasons that are unknown to me and have been unknown to me, that the British government and the European governments in general, in Brussels and all, are only taking Muslim immigrants. But why is that exactly, that they would only be taking Muslim immigrants? I mean, why not Hindus, you know, why not Sikhs, why not Christian Syrians who, you know, and I'm talking about the United States as well, you know, the United States took in, it was about 10,000 or so just recently, but overall about 100,000 immigrants or refugees, so-called, but not the Christians in Syria. Christians in Syria being the most heavily persecuted of all of the ethnic groups, even more so than the Kurds. And the Kurdish people, and they've got some strange religion, I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's not Christian yet. Actually, they're atheists, you know, they got the star, the red star, and they fly the hammer and sickle, and, you know, I've never thought that I would ever cheer communists, but in this case, you know, they're the only ones out there fighting ISIS, aren't they? I mean, really, I mean, aside from maybe Russia and, you know, not much from the Western world, but why is it only Muslims? Why do we only take Muslims in? I've got no theory as to why that is. None. I mean, I've looked at it from every angle, I can't figure it out. Well, what's wrong with Hindus? What's wrong with Syrian Christians? What's wrong with, you know, Syrian Jews or Syrian atheists or Iraqi, you know, people who, you know, they're being heavily persecuted by, but why are we only taking in primarily Sunni Muslim men of fighting age? What? Like, why? Well, why is that? So since I don't have a theory, I'm kind of asking I've got a couple of hundred viewers, subscribers, maybe a few more viewers than that, is to, you know, in the comment box below, is to let me know what your thoughts are. And I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get, oh, it's the Israelis, it's the Jews. The Jews want to do it. But yet, you know, all of my Israeli friends and my Jewish friends, they're like, oh my God, you know what's happening in Europe, right? Like, why is it that, you know, Europe is taking in all these Muslims? We're fighting them on a daily basis, you know, and we're barely surviving in this tiny country called Israel. Why is it that I get so many people, from everywhere in the world, you know, that constantly blame the Jews for this? Where is the Jewish lobby exactly in America or in Britain or in Europe that is pushing this multiculturalism? Where is it en masse? Well, it is. It does exist. It's in the multimedia, but these may be people of Jewish descent, a lot of them, but they're not Jewish people like in Israel. They're not religious Jews. These are primarily communist atheists. What my mother is Jewish, and my mother called them enemy Jews. Well, I don't know what that meant. Never really understood what that meant. Enemy Jew. What is an enemy Jew as opposed to a Jewish person? Well, what an enemy Jew is not a Jew at all. It's just some person that works in Hollywood, or some person that works in the media, that is an ultra left-wing liberal, bordering on communism, and secretly has a hammer and sickle and the red star of Mao hanging in their bedroom because they think it's sexy or something. And then they're all like, oh, go, white men are bad. Yes, that's what they think. And a lot of them are like, I won't mention names, Garoppolo, Geraldine Garoppolo, and people like her. It used to be Bill Maher, he used to be really, really left-wing, and then he realized that, oh, wait a minute, the Muslims want to kill you because you're a Jew, So I think the greatest ally that we've got in the West, in Europe, is Israel, because they've been going through what we're going through right now, and they've been going through it for decades and decades, I mean, they've learned to adapt to their environment. And most of the Israeli people I talk to, even the liberal ones, do not have any hatred exactly for Arab people, but they're just against, the people who are trying to kill them. Because if you're walking down in, Tel Aviv, or you're in Haifa, and some, Arab comes up and stabs you in the throat, you're going to kind of like go, oh, maybe that's not the kind of person that I want to live around, right? And, kind of getting back to my other video about the Cologne attacks, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, these young men have been raised to absolutely, utterly despise women. That's why they wrap their women up in the burqas, Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. And every time you see protests, you might see a few burqa-clad women, like the Great Arab Spring, which was supposed to be democracy in Islam. And where did that turn? Oh, it turned into ISIS, didn't it? So why is it that I always get, even some of my friends, on like G Plus on YouTube, are like, oh no, it's the Jews. It's the Jews. Yes, those terrible Jews. Well, the fact of the matter is, the Jews are fighting for their very existence. That is to live in a Western-style society. What Israel really is a Western nation in the Middle East. The only one. I mean, there are some semi-moderate ones. I lived in Malaysia. I mean, yeah, I guess you can call it moderate, not really. I mean, several of the hijackers trained in Malaysia, the ones that hijacked the planes and crashed them into the World Trade Center. So. And then you talk about places like Jordan. Well, I've heard some words from King Abdullah from Jordan, and he says he doesn't understand why Angela Merkel is doing this. He says, we fight them on a daily basis trying to keep things under control in Jordan. He's, although technically a Sunni Muslim, he's a moderate, I guess, if there is such a thing. And he doesn't even understand it. He doesn't understand Barack Obama. He said, King Abdullah said, I don't understand Barack Obama. I don't understand why he wants to bring in hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of these young fighting age men who have been trained in terrorism. And then what do you expect? They're going to attack young European girls in the streets. That's what they're doing. It's actually happening. It's happening en masse, 1,000 Muslim men. Not all of the migrants, but a large minority, 40 or 50% were, and the rest of their compatriots. They're Pakistani men, they're Arab men that have lived in Germany for generations. And the police in Cologne are like saying, well, oh, no, they're just local German boys. Yeah, right. Oh, because they've lived here, they were born here, they lived here for generations. They're just local German boys, being, like boys will be boys. So what if they're, not German? You know, it's the same in England. I used to go out in the protest in the English Defence League back before Tommy decided to exit stage left, and I'm not sure if that was left or not, but he exited, and that sort of was a real blow to the entire anti-radical Islamist movement in Britain. And now, of course, I heard Tommy talking about coming back in February, blah, 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 yeah, because his court things are all over with. Well, I understand that Tommy may have been railroaded, but I'm still quite disappointed that I believe he abandoned us in the English Defence League. And, I can't get the tattoo off my arm. It's still there, Tommy. But my argument is this. Why is it we always have to blame the Jews? What is it? What is it about that? The majority of people in Israel are struggling against Islamic terrorism far more than we have been, but we're about to learn a lesson, I think, from Israel. So, I'll listen to it. Okay, if you've got an argument that the Jews were behind it, I'll listen. Yeah, what Jews are those? My mother? Did my mother want multiculturalism? Did my mother want to do this? Does my mother believe in it? Of course not. So why? Israel is the closest ally that we have in Europe in this fight against the invasion of ISIS and radical Islam into Europe. So I just wanted to make a little video and just put that argument out. Look at what they have to go through. Pretty soon we're all going to be Israelis. We're all going to be behaving like them. Very soon in Europe we will. My name is William Hayward, here in a bunker behind the wall, and actually at work. What is it? In a bunker behind the wall, Castle Europe. Wake up, Europe. Wake up and smell the jihad. My name is William Hayward, and this is Radio Free London. Thank you for watching. I'm going to smoke this cigarette.